And okay, here I created a problem because the beveling doesn't work on this kind of structure. In order to analyze what's going on, I remove nearby geometry and render over this, which this looks okay. And the beveling, let's try it again, of course with a value which is lower than the actual geometry thickness. 0.5, no subdivisions. 0.05. Chamfer 0.5, and it's kind of not looking the way I expected it. MS in here leads to something bad. So let's just go UE to make this structure consist of quads again. UE was it, and then with MS I can try again, and this time it works. So now you see some shading running across from light to dark over a flat surface, and this is because those bevels here are really small and the fields or the polygons next to it are really big, and to work against that we can reduce the Phong angle to say 20 degrees, and that way maybe less. That way our gaps will look fine. Let's see, and I still have those edges. So below 17 looks okay. Maybe I should have done the beveling a bit different. Let's save some geometry and do it with just no subdivision and with a really low Phong angle. But you will see that it still makes a difference when you have like a tiny shiny edge running along. Now let's see the fields again, and it's always good to have something going on between the geometry and the actual, how to say, the actual fields. But like a gap like this will make it possible to look outside of our building, and we should cover that up too. So either we model it proper, or we put the fields down again, or I have to rethink my beveling. But so far I think it's the most easiest thing to just lift it up slightly. The gaps by 0.2 is too much, but maybe 0.2 or 5 will close it again. But in some cases gaps are good, but let's leave it like this. So next I have the fields, And you should always make sure that your ceiling looks interesting. Sometimes it's not that easy. And we should think of a structure, like where there is ventilation going on and what's the pattern. So here I have like each fourth piece, like there are always three in between, and I have to make sure I don't collide with those kind of pillars. So I should even make the pillars first before I create a pattern. So the floor is still good for that. And let's see it from top. Like I disable the fields and the gaps. And the structures or the pillars should have something to do with our room. I think like they should be orientated towards the windows, or have at least some kind of relation here. And yeah, let's just extrude it by the room height, which maybe was 240. Let's look from the side. Here they are, so 240 is okay. And we don't need the top bits. And we should isolate the pillars with UL for loop selection and hit UP delete. And in lacking of another word, I just call them pillars. Please note that we damaged the floor now, so if you want to be super clean, then you should have copied the floor before, but that way I can show you how to close gaps. So just go MD for closing and you get like this. If you go close to the edge and just click left, then they are closed. Of course they haven't gained that structure, so let's try this option here. So I go back, hit quadrangle, and as expected it's messing it up. So you could either help a little by doing some work for it, going MF again, and then you try MD, but it's doing it the way it wants. So we could also just go MD and use Ngons, and then select the whole thing and go UE. Or we could just use the knife and cut the long way, and then try UE, or go MF. And there you go. But this is something you should avoid. This like kind of fiddling with your geometry because you messed up stuff is often a result of not thinking about stuff, or being unconcentrated, or of having a bad workflow. Well, back to the ceiling. And also maybe those pillars are a bit bold. I only used one field here, and in my research